In this video, we're going to draw the progress value text at the center of the screen. And before we start drawing some text, I'd like to have a couple of reference lines that would mark the center of the view. So let's go ahead and do that. Going back to the code, and here I'm to draw the reference lines. We're going to do canvas.drawLine, and the start x is going to be mCircleBounds dot left, and the start y is going to be mCircleBounds dot center y. And then for the end coordinates, we're going to do mCircleBounds dot right followed by mCircleBounds dot center y. So this will draw the horizontal line and followed by the paint object. So this is going to draw the horizontal line at the center of the view. Now we are going to draw the vertical reference line, which is canvas.drawLine mCircleBounds dot center x mCircleBounds dot top, and then again for the end we're going to do mCircleBounds dot center x and mCircleBounds dot bottom followed by the paint object. Let's go ahead and run this. Switching to the emulator. Here we have the reference line marking the center of the view. So let's go ahead and draw some text. Going back. In order to draw the text, we are going to measure its size dynamically. Here I'm just going to do a ballpark. So let's go back to the top, and here I'm going to say private static final float text size fraction. And that is going to be 0.35 f. So that is the text size fraction. And I'm also going to declare a field for the text size. So private float m text size. So this value will be dynamically calculated. To do the calculation, we're going to move to the onSizeChanged method. And inside this, we're going to measure the text size dynamically. So m text size is equal to diameter into the text size fraction. That'll give us the text size. Now let's go ahead and do some drawing. I'm going to do drawing inside the onDraw method. And here we're going to draw the text. So text, let's say mPaint.set text size, and this is going to be the dynamically calculated text size followed by the style, because currently the style is only stroke, but for the text we're going to use only fill. So .set style, and that is going to be style.fill. After that I'm going to do canvas.draw text 100%. I'm using 100% because this is the largest text that will be displayed inside the progress bar. And when we use this text, we'll know if we have to change the text size fraction. So we're using the maximum value here, followed by mCircleBounds dot center x and mCircleBounds dot center y, followed by the paint object. This is good. Since we are modifying the paint style inside the onDraw method, we have to make sure that we have another paint.setStyle method here. So paint.setStyle, and this is going to be stroke. We have to do this because the background and the foreground are drawn using the stroke style and the text is drawn using the fill style. And let's go to the constructor and let's remove this, because we are setting the style inside the onDraw method. Let's go ahead and run this application and find out what happens. Switching to the emulator. Here it is. And something went wrong here. So let's go back and fix it. So here I'm going to say mPaint.setStroke style, and the style is going to be stroke for the debug rectangles and lines. So let's go ahead and run this now. Switching to the emulator. Here it is, but the text is not displayed where we want it. Let's go ahead and fix that. Let's go back to code, and I'm going to say mpaint.set text alignment, and for the alignment I'm going to say center. Let's see what happens right now. Switching to the emulator, we're getting somewhere. Notice that the text is centered in the x-axis, but it is not centered in the y-axis. In order to center it in the y-axis, we have to find the height of the text, and then we can take half of the height, which would be somewhere like this, and we'll add that half to the y-axis. So that way the text will be positioned at the center of the screen. Also notice that the text is a little bit larger because I just used some ballpark number. So we need to reduce the size of the text as well. So first, let's go ahead and find the height of the text. Let's go back to code. And the Canvas API provides you a method called as getTextBounds, which will measure the bounds of the text. So from the bounds, you can calculate the height, width, and you can also find the top, left, bottom, and right coordinates. In order to use it, you need a rect object. So let's go ahead and create the rect object first. So let's go to the top, and here I'm going to say private rect mTextBounds, and I'm going to initialize this inside the constructor. So mTextBounds is equal to new rect, and again let's go to onDraw, and here before we draw the text I'm going to say string text equal to 100%, and I'm going to replace this with text, and before we draw the text I'm going to measure it. I'm going to say mPaint.getBounds, and I'm going to pass in the text, and the next parameter is the character where you want to begin with, so that is 0, and the third parameter is the length of the text that you want to measure. So we're going to measure the length of the entire text, text.length, and the last parameter is the rect object itself, so that is going to be text bounds. Now that we have the text bounds, we have to find the height of the text, so that is going to be mTextBounds.height. That gives the height. I'm going to use a more descriptive name for this, which is going to be text height. And here for the y parameter, I'm going to say plus text height divided by 2. So that will position the text at the center of the y-axis. Also, we noticed that the size of the text was a bit large. So let's go ahead and reduce the size. Here in the text size fraction, let's do a 30% instead. That is 30. Let's go ahead and run this application. Switching to the emulator. Let's go ahead and click on this. This looks good to me. The only thing that is left is to change the text color to black and to remove these debug reference lines. Let's go ahead and do that. Scrolling down, and here I'm going to remove the entire block. We don't need it anymore. And also I'm going to change the paint color dot set color dot black. That's good. Let's go ahead and run this for one last time. Switching to the emulator. This one looks good, but still we have a problem, and I'm very sorry about it because the value of this text should change. So let's go back to code and do a quick fix. And here at the text, I'm going to say mValue, and I'm going to add a percentage to this. So that does it. And I'm also going to typecast this into an integer. so that you'll have only integer values. And this time it is real. We're going to run it and see. Switching to the emulator. And here it is, 0%. Let's go ahead and click on it. 26%, 19%, 91%, 50%. So the progress bar works as expected. If you have any questions, don't feel shy. Thank you for watching.